Hey guys, welcome back for another really cool recipe. I've actually got 3 in 1 today. The main event is going to be mango canned chicken. Then I'm going to do a side of a nice spiced up barley and a special Assblaster beans. Now, one of the recipes I'm getting right off the bottle here. This again was sent in to me by a friend and client as a thank you. And this is really, really hot stuff. This is nothing like you can buy in a store. You can get it mail order at a specific hot sauce store, but this is like almost food additive hot. Like a few drops a pot will do you. So I'm only going to be using just a couple teaspoons for a big mess of beans. I'm just going to follow their recipe on the back of this. Really simple. Pinto beans, garlic, and Assblaster. So we'll see how that comes out. I'm just going to do a small batch of that, see how I like it. And then for the barley, which is going to be the main side for the chicken, I'm just going to do cumin and ginger. Just a nice light spice bed. Now the chicken, you've probably seen it called beer can chicken. And you don't have to use beer, you can use anything in a normal sized can. The point is it's steamed from the inside. You can use any liquid, even just plain water. I'm going to use mango to give it a nice little bit of a sweetness. And it's real simple. What we're going to do is wash the chicken real well, keep it completely whole. You want to dump out or drink half of your can. If you're just doing one chicken, you just need one can. And you want it half filled with liquid, because if you have more than that, it doesn't generate enough steam and you end up with just a can of warm liquid in the chicken. So after we get the chicken washed, we're just going to put a light rub on the outside, and you just stick this right up inside the chicken so it's sitting on top, and that'll go on the grill. This is a recipe you can do with any grill. You don't need a smoker. You can even do it in the oven if you don't have or want to use your grill. Won't be exactly the same, because using a grill is going to give us a nice roasted outside at the same time the inside gets steamed. So that's the whole point of the beer can chicken, or mango can chicken in this case. And for the rub, I was going to do a Jamaican jerk, but I don't want all that sugar, so I'm just going to do my own kind of jerk. I'll call it a Florida jerk. I'm going to use garlic and onion powder. Again, when I do a rub, I like to use powder rather than fresh garlic, because it helps absorb into the meat better. And then I'm going to use allspice and thyme, so that'll give it a real nice Caribbean flavor, and that should pair up very nicely with the cumin and ginger in the barley. So we'll just have the chicken on the barley and beans on the side. Alright, let's get going. Just have to wash the chicken here. Oh, and here's a note, something I totally didn't think about. First of all, you want to stay 5 or 6 pounds or so with your chickens, because any bigger than that, they don't fit under the lid. So that was one. Two, you're typically going to find these in a deep freeze, and it takes days to thaw them out. I could have put them in the microwave, but I really hate doing that, so I let them thaw in the refrigerator. They are still not 100% thawed. I mean, there's still a little bit of ice here, but they're squishy enough where I can work with it, wash it, and stick the can up its butt. But budget a few days for thawing time if you're going to do this. Otherwise, make sure that they're not frozen when you buy them. I should have just saw if they had whole chickens not frozen, but I don't think they did. Anyway, they're cheap. What's this? 99 cents a pound. I mean, come on, ridiculously cheap. Anyway, let's get going. I'm going to wash the chickens, and we'll put the rub together, stick the can up, and head out to the grill. Alright, the chickens are washed. I've got them patted dry. Again, working with raw chicken, no joke. Be mindful of your surfaces. Wash your hands frequently. Use paper towels. Don't be touching the chicken and then going to a jar of spices, for example. All we have to do now is mix up our rub and what will become our basting for halfway through the video. Just going to use couple tablespoons of dressing. This is just to help it stick, not really for the flavor. There's a little bit of a seasoning in there, obviously, but the flavor is really going to come from these two spices, our thyme and our allspice. Very traditional in Caribbean jerk recipes, and the other missing one being a lot of brown sugar. But we are going to skip that just to make it a little healthier, and kind of put in the garlic and the onion instead. I'm going to use about half of a little jar of thyme and about 2/3 of it of the allspice. It's heavy on the allspice flavor. That's really the core of a jerk. There we go. Boy, does that smell good. It's kind of like a combination of cinnamon, nutmeg, and something sweet. There's a bit of a sweetness in this. So this will give us a real nice layer of flavor and color on the outside of the birds as they roast. Really smells like Christmas. That's the best. Gingerbread, that's what it smells like. Nutmeg, cinnamon, and heavy gingerbread. I'm going to use about a tablespoon of the onion powder and the same of the garlic. This is just for a little bit of a flavor, not going to take over by any means. That's good. Alright, now what we want to do, is it going to be easier to put that on before or after the can? Probably before. Alright, so first of all, I have my cans here. I poured out half the mango, made 1 glass of it for myself, and it'll help if you start with room temperature beverages. So pull it out of the fridge ahead of time, let it set for a few hours. That'll just give it a head start on the grill to start steaming. Not a huge deal if you don't, but it helps. And every little bit is worth doing. Alright, so we're just going to mix this in by hand, because we're going to be putting it on by hand. No point dirtying up a utensil. And just make it into a thick paste. That's all you should be looking for. Just so it's going to stick to the outside of the birds. There we go. Likes to stick to me more than the chicken. It smells really good. A little bit more here and finish this off. So you get the idea. I'm going to go ahead and finish the other bird. So the last step is to simply mount the chickens on the can. Just be careful about spilling the contents of the can. That's all you have to really worry about. Tip it backwards with the opening to the top and you get a little bit of leverage here. Oops, see, this is what I'm talking about. I'm touching my garlic can with my raw chicken. So now I've got to wash that garlic can off. It can be a little difficult to get these guys up because they are a little heavy. Just get it in there. Get it all the way in so that he can sit on the can on the grill just like that. Now to start this off, we're not going to be smoking today. We're going to be doing kind of in between low and slow and open grilling. So we're going to start with a very full chimney of coals because we need this to go for 2.5 hours or so. Always use a chimney. You just pack some paper in there, not real tight. Good 3 sheets will do you. Light that up in about 20-25 minutes. When the tops just start to turn gray, it's going to be good to go. We're going to set our grate wide open. That's going to give us temps where we want them, about 350 degrees. Come on, it's a little stuck. Anyway, I'll open that up. And we are going to be cooking indirect. We're going to be putting the coals all to one side, and our chickens will just be standing up over here. We're just going to do a rotate halfway through, do a rebasting, and that's all there is to cooking this dude. Let's put it on. Alright, our coals are hot and ready. Going gray on top, we're ready to pour in. We're going to put them all on one side. Kick over any stragglers. Put it on the grate. I'm going to let this heat up just a little bit, help clean off the grate, and I'm going to go inside now and get the chickens. Alright, now, I'm going to set this down because it takes two hands to really put these chickens on. What we're going to do is put them, you're going to have to go kind of towards the center because it's tall. And like I said, these are about as big as you can fit under this lid. But you want it as far away from the coals as possible. So let's do the first one. And it doesn't matter which side you start with, because we're going to be flipping. Just want to make sure that they're up straight so that can doesn't tip over or anything. Alright, that looks pretty good. That was the can falling out. Luckily, it landed on its feet and didn't spill. So do as I say, not as I do. Be careful picking them up. Make sure you have a grip on the bottom of the can. There we go. Again, I just want to make sure this isn't going to be falling over in the middle of cooking. That would be a little disastrous. Alright, those are good and steady. I'm going to wash my hands really quickly. I forgot to bring out a towel. I don't feel like getting this all over my grill lid. But that's alright. I want to get this a little hotter anyway. We want to be running the grill about 350, 3 1/4, somewhere in there. So lid on, vents full open. That should be absolutely perfect. If you're using a Weber, if you're using a gas grill or whatever, you're probably got a gauge. And we're going to be flipping these around and basting them with a little bit more of the Italian dressing after an hour, hour and a half, somewhere in there. And we're going to do this for a total of maybe 2.5 hours. We're going to be checking the temp. We want to get these to about 180, 185, and we'll pull them off as soon as they're done. So I'm going to go wash my hands, stick the lid on, and we'll see these guys back in an hour or so. Alright, we're a little over an hour in. I can smell it out here already. Let's take a look. Carefully take the lid off. Don't want to tip these guys over. Oh, baby. That is looking good. Nice and browned on that one side. So what we have to do now is we're going to baste them, and I'm just going to use light dressing. My wife got me these really cool little basting nubs. They're silicone, and they screw right on to barbecue sauce or any kind of standard bottle. They got different threads in here. So no more fiddling around with spoons and brushes and washing all the crap. We're just going to lightly give it a coat just to keep it moist. Again, this isn't really for flavor. Woo! Hot coals, hot coals. Alright. Basted. Now we're just going to flip them around. And in about another hour and a half, we'll start checking it for temp. Again, be careful doing this. Ooh, it's hot. Should have brought tongs. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to go get tongs. Be careful flipping them around. You just don't want to spill the cans. Be right back. Alright, let's try that again. Beautiful. can see the cans inside generating their steam. Now we put the lid back on. Got plenty of coals in there to take us through the end. Just carefully put it on. Don't knock the birds over. Got to slide this one back a little bit. Not much clearance in here. So just keep them towards the center as much as you can. That should do it. Perfect. All right. See you guys back here in another hour and a half, and they should be ready to at least check for temp. 2.5 hours in, time to check the chicken. Again, we're looking for about 185 degrees. Carefully take the lid off here. Oh man, that looks good. All right. Want to stick our thermometer in to the thickest part of the meat here without touching the bone. Just going to go down to the center. Got better reading. Can't tell if I'm in the meat or not. There we go. Just off the bone, right about 185, so we are ready to take these guys off. Got a pan here. I'm going to use my tongs and a big spatula. Carefully lift them off. This is the part where I wish I had a nice little table to set this down on. You know what? I'm just going to shoot. That's the easiest way. I'm going to bring a chair over. Stand by. There we go. Alright. I don't have to worry about spilling the juice because it is probably gone. Just going to get underneath it here. Put these guys into the pan. Yeah, there's a little bit of juice left in there. No big deal. So, I'm going to take these in and they are going to rest while we do the barley and beans. For the beans, this is really simple. Let's see what it says here. Assblaster border beans. Place the pinto beans with juice in a pan. Add garlic, oregano, and Assblaster hot sauce. And it says 2 to 4 tablespoons. We're going to go in the middle and do 3 tablespoons of oregano and 4 cloves of minced garlic. Alright, so let's see. Just need a pan, I guess. I thought I had to rinse the beans, but I don't, so I don't need that. Got our beans in, turn on the stove. Just about out of garlic here. Luckily I've got another one. Should be just enough in here. Oh, there's plenty. There's about 2. A little more garlic. Not so much juice. There we go. Alright. So there's 4 or so cloves. And we need some oregano. And we're going to do 3 tablespoons of Assblaster. And again, this is potent stuff. Of course, you can use your own favorite hot sauce, but I just want to try what they recommend. I'm sure I'll tweak it later. There we go. So this is just going to come up to temperature, doesn't have to cook. Then I'm going to set it aside and we'll do the barley, which again is really quick and easy. By that time the chicken will be ready. You always want to give meat a good rest period after it comes off the grill. We'll give this a 15-20 minute rest, and that's plenty of time to cook our sides up. So after this is up to temp, I'll be back and we'll do the barley. Alright, the beans are coming up to temp, so I got them back just staying warm back there. Got 8 cups of water in here. I'm going to do 2 boxes of barley. And let's see, I just want you to bring the water to a boil. Need to add a little bit of salt. Just a half teaspoon for 2 boxes worth. So that's not bad. Okay. Then we're going to put in the barley. Once that gets going, I'm going to put in the spices, and then it just cooks like rice. Cover it and wait. Alright, water's at a boil. Now we just have to stir in our 2 boxes of barley. Now I'm going to put in my spices. I'm going to do about 1 tablespoon of cumin and about a half of ginger. That should do it. Now we have to reduce heat down to a simmer. I'll stir these spices in a bit here. Cover it, let this go for 10 minutes. And take it off the heat. Let it stand for 5, just like rice. And then we're going to be ready to plate up. Alright, now we're just going to kill the heat. Move it off the heat. Kind of out of room here, but let's see what I can do. Got over there, done with these. Get that out of the way. Slide the chicken up. Man, that chicken smells good. Alright, that's just going to sit there for 5 minutes. It's a little hot. Alright. Yeah, I'm just going to let this sit. We'll come back and do the plating. I don't know about you, but I am hungry. Alright. Got our barley all done. Very nice. Okay. The beans are ready. Now we just gotta carve up the chicken. You know how to do this. Any way you want to do it. Oh yeah, that is fall apart tender. Look at that. Absolutely delicious. Perfect. Just like the rotisserie chicken you get in the grocery store. So good. Alright. Well, I think I'm going to make myself a plate. Don't even really have to carve it up. It's just pull it apart with your fingers. Get some nice barley going here. A little bit of it. The barley's good for you too. A lot of good fiber in it. Like I said, half the carbs of rice. We just used a tiny bit of salt. So don't feel guilty about it. Beautiful. A little wingy dingy. Nice. Now I need some beans. And I tried them. They are so good. They're hot. But I'm a chili head. If you're like me, you're going to dig this recipe. Super easy. Just grab one of your favorite really hot sauces. stew it up. Need a bigger spoon for that. This will work. You know what? I'm going to do them in a little cup. Let me see what I got here. That's going to run all over. Perfect. Side of beans, just like a restaurant. There you have it. Florida Jerk mango canned chicken, spiced barley, and Assblaster beans. Delish, super easy, and healthy. See you guys next time.